Good evening, dear Kuwait television viewers, and welcome to another new episode of your weekly program, Kuwait in 30 Minutes. The English News and Political Programs Department has prepared a variety of reports that highlight the main events that have recently taken place across Kuwait. Our committed team of reporters is constantly engaged in numerous events with the objective of keeping you, dear viewers, aware of the latest information, regulations, and policies. Our aim is to help you obtain information on the latest developments at the local scene. So stay tuned for more coming your way this evening. Moving to our first report, the 13th semi-annual joint Kuwaiti-British steering group met at Abdullah Salim Cultural Center, where a tour and a signing ceremony took place. Senior delegates of Kuwait Ministry of Foreign Affairs, British government officials, members of the diplomatic community were present on this special occasion. More from our reporter Najla Sadeh.
The Abdullah Salim Cultural Center witnessed a special event where the joint Kuwaiti-British steering group signed the 13th semi-annual partnership action plan. Signing the agreement were Kuwait Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs Ambassador Khalid Al-Jarallah and British Member of Parliament Mr. Alistair Burt, who was accompanied by His Excellency the British Ambassador to Kuwait Mr. Michael Davenport. Delegates from Kuwait Ministry of Foreign Affairs accompanied signatories on a special tour of the location prior to the event.
I'm delighted to be here for our excellent joint steering group. This has been a relationship which has developed over many years with His Excellency the Deputy Foreign Minister. It encompasses a range of work from the United Kingdom and State of Kuwait, defence and security. It looks at culture, it looks at education, looks at science, and looks at trade and industry. This represents the breadth of the wide relationship between us. The UK and Kuwait next year will celebrate 120 years from the Treaty of Friendship. It will be marked in a major way, both in the United Kingdom and here. But this working group brings together many people who have at their heart the interests of the people of Kuwait and the United Kingdom. I'm very proud to be associated with it. I'm very proud to be associated with my friend. And this is a recognition of a friendship which is not only based in history but is very contemporary. And to be here in the museum today just makes that point especially.
Alistair Burt here with us in Kuwait. He came to Kuwait with a framework of the meeting of the steering group between Kuwait and UK, and this is the 13th meeting for this steering group. We signed the action plan with the British side regarding all the activities which is covered by this steering group meeting. So we are looking forward really to have these meetings in the future. The next meeting will be in London, and also we covered all the activities and all the issues which is related to the relation between the excellent relation between Kuwait and UK. So we are happy to have Mr. Alistair Burt here in Kuwait, and we are happy also that we signed the action plan with the British side.
Among the various topics discussed in the joint Kuwaiti-British steering group are cultural, educational, economic, and any pending matters, with the aim of strengthening relations on both ends. With the next meeting taking place in London, important matters are highlighted and given sufficient time to be addressed. The Abdullah Salim Cultural Center was a unique venue of monumental value for the event, which followed an informative tour of prehistoric life to modern life, bringing an element of history to the event.
The Organization of Arab Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, 101st meeting was launched in Kuwait. The meeting was attended by member states of oil ministers. They discussed their budgeting plans for the year 2019, as well as development plans that they will implement in the near future. Here's more with Saleh Al-Abaidi.
The Organization of Arab Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, is a regional intergovernmental organization established by agreement which was signed in Beirut on January 1968 by Kuwait, Libya, and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. By the year of 1982, the membership of the organization was increased to 11 Arab countries. OPEC Council of Ministers will review its budget for 2019 during its 101st meeting, which was launched in Kuwait. There were 10 member states present in the meeting, as they will review the report of the auditor by appointment for the organization for the year 2019, and they will discuss the facts and recommendations of the 11th Arab Energy Conference, which was held in Marrakesh, Morocco. The Council will also review the international oil situation and the special account of the organization's assistance for the Arab countries importing oil, and the need of assistance, as well as the establishment of the Arab Oil Institute for Training, which will be based in Baghdad. Today, the 2018 OPEC Summit in Kuwait has been launched. This was Saleh Al-Abaidi reporting to you for Kuwait in 30 minutes.
Under the patronage of Kuwait Minister of Health, Sheikh Dr. Bassel Sabah, the Facilities Management Conference was organized at the Jaber Al-Ahmed Cultural Center. Attendees included prominent members of relevant public authorities, the Emir Diwan, and the Kuwait Engineering Society. More from our reporter.
In line with the vision of New Kuwait 2035, a number of initiatives are in motion with the roadmap. A major step forward was highlighted at the Conference on Facilities Management in Government, which was held under the auspices of Kuwait Minister of Health, Sheikh Dr. Bassel Sabah. The event was comprised of informative speeches, a presentation, and a discussion session. Attendees included organizers, senior members of relevant public authorities and Kuwait Engineering Society, and distinguished guests.
Today's conference is about facility management. This is the second conference in Kuwait, and there will be a sequence of conferences coming up next year, inshallah, and also training courses. This conference today is under the patronage of His Excellency Dr. Bassel Sabah, the Minister of Health, and also we have so many participants that participated as a supporter or endorser for this conference today. We thank all the organizers and the endorser and the supporter. Facility management is about saving money, saving time.
Of course, as you know, that facility management is very important. We are witnessing a 2035 New Kuwait development plan under the auspices of His Highness the Emir of Kuwait. With regards to this plan, there is going to be over at least $150 billion spent towards infrastructure, and therefore that infrastructure, once completed, needs to be facilitated, and that is what we see or what we call facility management. We at the Kuwait Ports Authority have done exactly that.
Finally, that day come after 6 months of preparation for the facility management in government, in which this concept has to be introduced and practiced in all government sectors, in all government buildings, and all government facilities. And we hope that the recommendations or the lectures that comes from this conference will be a message sent to all those officials and agencies to implement and start recruiting the right people in facility management.
as commitment to advancing towards improving the various structural and economic channels by increasing the life expectancy of the building's facilities management in the long run poses a cost-effective strategy through, in this case, dealing with a single entity for structural maintenance and services as opposed to the current compartmentalized contracts which are carried out independently.
Qatar National Day celebrations on December 18th were organized by the Qatari Embassy in the state of Kuwait. His Excellency, the Qatari Ambassador to the state of Kuwait, Hamad Ali Jabir Al-Hinzab, welcomed the guest of honor, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs, Sheikh Sabah Khalid Al-Sabah. The guest list included members of the diplomatic community, dignitaries, and distinguished individuals who participated in this special event, which took place at the Araya Ballroom. Here is more from Najla Sadiq.
Qatar National Day, اليوم الوطني لقطر, is the national commemoration of Qatar's unification in 1878 and celebrated on the 18th of December. The special occasion was celebrated at the Al Raya Ballroom, where His Excellency, the Qatari Ambassador to the State of Kuwait, Mr. Hamad Ali Jabir Al-Hinzab, welcomed the guest of honor, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs, Sheikh Sabah Khalid Al-Sabah, to fulfill the event. Guests at the event were members of the diplomatic community, prominent government officials, senior members of the corporate community, dignitaries, and distinguished guests.
Well, as a Kuwaiti, firstly and foremost, I'm extremely honored to be here representing myself and congratulating the great country of Qatar on their National Day. And as the Communication Director for Ooredoo, I'm also extremely honored representing the company here and happy to...
Qatar National Day witnessed a tremendously impressive turnout of guests, of which a noticeable large factor was of corporate affiliation and many others who simply enjoyed the closeness. Guests expressed sincere delight to participate in this very joyful celebration, where congratulations and interaction were expressed with treasured words for the duration of the event in this very ideal venue.
On the sideline of his visit to the state of Kuwait, His Excellency Mongolian Foreign Minister Damdin Sukt-Batar handed over the Order of the Polar Star to Kuwaiti citizens Badr al-Bayjan. The decoration was ordered by the President of Mongolia. Here's more in the following report by Sami Kandiri.
Mongolian Foreign Minister Damdin Sukt-Batar arrived in Kuwait for an official visit where he met His Highness the Emir Sheikh Sabah Al-Ahmed Al-Jabir Al-Sabah and various other officials. During his visit, he also handed over the Order of the Polar Star to Kuwaiti citizen Badr al-Bayjan, awarded by the order of the President of Mongolia.
Well, Mr. Badr al-Bayjan was one of the key figures in organizing and building and creating this Kuwaiti Research Center in Mongolia, and it has a very noble intent and objective. The Kuwaiti Research Center is there to promote environmental research in Mongolia, and Mongolia is one of the countries that is heavily subjected to the global climate change. For example, we have desertification that's been going on for quite a while, and the temperature warming. If in the world the medium temperature growth was 1 degrees in 100 years, in Mongolia we had in 60 years 1.5 degrees warming. So therefore, in Mongolia, we are already experiencing the negative changes and the impact of global climate change. And with Kuwaiti government, we were really trying to promote the research as to the ecological processes. And when we understand better the ecological changes and processes, then we would be able to develop a better and more accurate strategies as to mitigating them, and also as to getting our people accustomed to adapted to these changes. So, in other words, this research center is a scientific base for developing science-based policies and approaches, government approaches and programs. And from that perspective, it is a very important tool for ensuring sustainable economic and social growth in Mongolia. So, in other words, yes, people may be thinking this is one center, but its impact, goes far beyond just a center, activity. And for that, we're really thankful to the Kuwaiti government for what it's doing, and our friendship with Kuwaiti people, Kuwaiti government has been very sincere, and it's been productive. But there more could be done, and for that we should be working on both sides.
This is an award from His Excellency the President of Mongolia, and it came through His Excellency the Minister of Foreign Affairs. My relationship with Mongolia goes a long time ago, and I was given the responsibility to build